I think one of the coolest things and things actually I was looking for the most to see in CES 2025 is things related to AI and gaming. And I'm not talking about the 50 series graphics card, but it's new ACE technology, AI technology that can be used also, of course, for gaming. For example, teammates, AI companions, teammates that can act like a real player. Talking about ramping up the difficulty against NPCs in a more natural way. They can be bosses based on AI that can adapt to player tactics. You can have really smart AI companions, they can interact with you more naturally. You can have free-form kind of dialogue with AI characters and kind of natural interactions, rather than ones that are very scripted based. You can have AI characters that have more natural and realistic expressions, facial expressions, and lifelike animations. You can have NPCs that have more evolve based on the context of what's actually happening in the game and around them. You can have objects in-game that are designed in real time based on your interaction with stable diffusion design of objects in-game. And you can read more, of course, on the official website. I kind of highlighted a few things. As you can see, state-of-the-art models. ACE offer full suite of AI models from speech and translation, vision and intelligence to realistic animation and behavior with consistent results. You can operate in the cloud or deploy models and run locally on Nvidia RTX AI PCs. It's of course designed also for gaming. Innovative model distillation technique and advancement enable multiple AIs to run simultaneously on GeForce RTX GPUs. So it's actually defined as autonomous game characters. And basically you take AI characters and you, let's say, throw them into the world, your game design world, and then can interact naturally with other NPCs. They can interact with the player. They can do so many different things that are more naturally done compared to something that is very scripted based. For example, PUBG are adding AI companions. Basically, this is again AI companion, not a real player, but it acts and you interact with it like a real player. So it really feels like there's a real person actually there, but you don't need to play with another player. So, well, in some way, it's kind of goodbye to toxicity, right? You have your companion, a random player, but it's an AI based and it can give cover. You can just ask him to go and find different items for you. So if you get attacked, for example, he will give you cover like you see here in this video posted on nvidia.com. You can revive him, he can revive you. Basically, it's like having a real player with you, kind of, that does everything that a real player will do, and you can interact with him in the same way that you do if it was a real player, but it's just AI-based character, not a real one. Yeah, so yeah, developers already adapting it, and it's really very interesting to see how they're going to take it, and add these new features into their games. Now, this is another example from Bladepoint and Akara Bladepoint, and basically you can see AI teammates powered by Nvidia ACE can join your party, battling alongside you, finding your specific items that you need, swapping gear, offering suggestions on skills to unlock, and making plays that helps you achieve victory. This is kind of really great. This is actually can be very useful in situations where you want to kind of have in-game guides. So even everything related to tutorials and just guidance, especially at the beginning of the game, can be really more fun and of course very useful when you have an AI companion that explain that. So it could be pretty cool. So this is one use for it, but again, this is throughout the game. You have your companion that does different things for you. Super cool. Now, this is another thing, and I actually thought it's a really cool idea. Basically, you can see players will experience comprehensive community simulation where every Zoe in the city acts autonomously, driven by their life goals and reacting to their environments and the events happening around them, leading to deeper levels of immersion and complex social situation. And now you think to yourself, well, all of these social games, every sim game out there, how it's going to be enhanced with such AI features. This is going to be game-changing for so many sim games by the other is going to be released, and oh boy, it's going to be amazing to see how it's going to evolve even further. So this is kind of a glimpse into the features in Zoe, as you can see here. So imagine just adding different props into the scene and just seeing the AI characters interact with them and the way they interact themselves, and they make changes so the other AI interact with them based on the changes that they're actually doing. This is going to be insane for sim games, no doubt about it. Yeah, this is definitely going to revolutionize the genre of sim games for sure. Now, this is something that I'm actually really afraid of. Seeing bosses, AI bosses actually adapting to the player. Oh boy, what do you say? Something like that in Elden Ring? But think about it. Some people probably won't like it because they want to learn boss patterns, but what if the boss actually adapts to you? Maybe kind of a very late boss that is very, very hard, or maybe the hardcore difficulty of a boss. This can be something amazing. So a boss isn't the same. It can actually surprise you, and you need to come with very adaptive build to be able to beat the fight. So this is kind of a crazy, and maybe again, like it's mentioned, maybe some users, especially in a co-fight, we need to cooperate together in order to be able to, be ready for different strategies that the boss can actually make during the fight. So this is something crazy, a boss that can actually adapt to and memorize basically what players are actually doing and adapt to the fight. It's going to be really crazy for boss fights. See, prioritize target. This is a healer. So the boss actually try to eliminate the healer first, so it won't actually heal the other party members. Some really crazy stuff going there. That's going to be insane. Of course, there are other things like, for example, in Dead Meat, the player can ask the suspects absolutely anything using their voice or keyboard. These are, you can see, running in real time on a GeForce RTX 50 series GPU, generating dialogue locally for the very first time. So it's not even scripted, it's created locally using the 50 series graphics card, so not even running in the cloud, just generated locally. The model just runs locally on your computer. Crazy. Talking about really unique experience for each player. In AI-driven NPCs that autonomously interact with each other, the environment, and the player, creating dynamic AI-generated narrative. Another thing is having a stable diffusion used in game, and this is from Feast Forge in Shadow Torch. Basically here you can see the developer interacting with an NPC and ask for a new design, basically kind of ship artwork for the ship. And this is just done in real time. This is so cool. Think about it, you don't need to actually create, textures, having the textures available in game already as part of the package of the game. It will be just generated on the fly by AI there on your computer. So this is so cool. So all these textures, of course, don't need to be there in game. It's just the technology is there. The model is running locally on your computer, and it's going to generate textures, and this feature is going to be available in game. Now, of course, you can think about it even to the next level, like 3D models and, designing ships based on what you ask, and other things that change 3D model structure, not just, of course, creating textures. And this is going to be like crazy. No matter where you take it, which direction, everything in the game can be changed. Yeah, this is, of course, unrelated. Nonetheless, so when you think about it, you already probably see where it goes. It goes to a place where everything in the game can be generated. All games can be basically generated by AI. This is just part of the game, part of it directed, part of it using AI to enhance the gameplay experience. But basically, AI can just generate a whole game. Think about generating a complete AAA game by just prompting it and asking the AI to generate the game for you based on prompt. Of course, it's going to be more extensive prompt. You can just create different sections of the game and tell the AI actually what you want to play, the characters, the personality, and everything, and AI can generate an entire game for you. So when you think about it, basically the developer company is going to rule the gaming industry, is the one that allows players to generate their own, let's say, AAA games, but just prompting it. It's definitely going into that direction, again, because right now what you see is actually part of it. It's kind of a more modular way to inject things in the game. So the question is how it's going to be like, basically being a developer in an era. We can only talk about this right now when it talks about, AI-generated content compared to artists who are actually creating content. I will actually affect the industry. Where think about it, every player can just generate their own AAA games, right? Not right now, but this is definitely going to that direction. I'm pretty sure there are many companies who are actually working on these technologies because they know that the company that developer company in quotations, if you can call it like that will succeed is the one that allow players to basically create any game in their imagination. And imagine just browsing an entire library, millions of AAA games available every single day, generated by the community, rated, generated, you can play them. So although I see it and get really excited about the features, I'm actually kind of worried when I see it from a developer perspective, how this world of game development will be like in the future. And based on how fast we are going there, it's probably going to be in the near future. So we already see the change happening with, of course, images and now kind of short videos, soon going to be full videos. They're already like really relatively long videos available for people creating their own kind of, mini movies, but soon it's going to be like Hollywood quality movies. AI is moving fast, super, super fast. But talking just specifically on what we've seen here, as a gamer, I'm really excited for many of these features. You're just going to get games just to be more excited, especially, by the way, simulation games. I'm really excited to see that. And things related to NPCs going to be smart, and you're going to be really having fun having an NPC that can be with you in game, doing different things for you alongside you, and you can interact with it more naturally, even just speaking to it as you kind of explore a world. Speak naturally with an NPC and just share your thoughts, worries, or everything else, maybe things in game, asking for help, everything going to come naturally rather than having like maybe tutorials or things for the player. This AI will just help you to do and enjoy everything. It's going to be very natural and fun. So yeah, what are your thoughts in general of these features that you've seen here, and about the future of AI in gaming? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.